do you want from a relationship? It's a big question. Really? The question boils down to what kind of a relationship and who am I with? What do I actually need in that moment? In fact, you may have no idea what you want from a relationship. And if that's the case, it's time we change that. I want to show you what you should and can expect from most relationships. In fact, we're going to cover not only friendships, family relationships, and romantic partnerships, but everything in between too, including business relationships. What should you want from a human relationship with another thinking, loving, hopefully good faith human being? And good faith is one thing we're going to have to talk about here in just a minute. All right, let's dive right in. But before we do, make sure you check out adamlanesmith.com. I've got tons of resources on there. Some of what I'm going to talk about today is going to be related to attachment. A lot of it will be. And all those attachment resources are available on my website, adamlanesmith.com, including a free 4 styles of attachment guide that you can download right there. Go ahead and check that out. And now, let's jump right in. What should you be looking for in a relationship? What do you actually want? What do you, sitting there right now watching this video, really want from relationships? I'll give you a moment to think about it. If you have to pause the video, you're welcome to. But most of us struggle to put our finger on what we really want. You might have a laundry list. Guys will usually come out with, well, I want a girl who has pretty hair and, certain good assets physically. And, maybe she's not too much drama. And women are usually saying, well, I like a guy who has goals in life and he's honest and he will be, loving with me and maybe a good dad. Well, cool. Where are you going to find those people? How do you figure them out? How do you realize who they are? How do you check for them in a relationship? What flags do you check for? I'm going to tell you that today. Because the relationship itself is what really matters more than individual features of a human being. Because all of those things, honest, ambitious, good mother, good father, whatever it might be, maybe not looks, but everything else boils down to some very specific features. The people who are right to be in a relationship with you, whether that's friends, family, or romantic partners, or business partners even, they will have a certain number of features in common that you will be able to really look at and say, yes, this is what I needed in a relationship. And here's the crux. If you don't know what you want in a relationship, you probably don't know what other people want from you in relationships. We need to nail down what it is that human beings are looking for in other human beings for those relationships so that you know exactly what is expected of you from other people. You just happen to be on the right channel because I, Adam Lane Smith, have created the 4-step process for figuring out if someone is a good match for you in relationships and the 4 things that people want from you, which I'm going to bet money that you actually want in relationships too. So when I ask, what do you actually want in a relationship? I already know. You want these 4 things. You just don't maybe know them yet. Let's jump right in and talk about some of these things. What are the 4 features in a relationship that you are looking for? And you do not want to miss number 4 because it's the deepest, most intimate part of the relationship. We'll talk about that here in a minute. And that does really touch on attachment. That's going to be a lot harder without attachment work. Let's talk about the first 3 though. Let's not even go there yet. The first 3 pieces of a relationship. What do people want from you and what do you realistically want from them? Number 1, you want to be able to trust the other person, which boils down to, are they consistent with their principles in their life? What does this mean? Values. Classical values, virtues, whatever you might want to call them. Examples are loyalty, compassion, mercy, love, these things. Integrity is another one. My personal 3, honesty, integrity, and compassion. When I choose to act, I don't react to things. I choose to stop and act and say, so-and-so has done this. How would I like to react to that? Here's a choice before me. How would I like to react to that? This is a situation requiring my attention. How should I act in this situation? I choose to act with honesty, integrity, and compassion in those relationships, in those pieces, consistently. Doesn't mean I'm perfect. Doesn't mean I always get it right. But if I do get something wrong, I'm consistent with it because I come back to it and say, you know what? I made the mistake here. This was me. I violated my principles. I apologize. Here is what I'm going to do to make it right, to really make it right from my side, because I must, through my integrity, I must follow through on what I said I was going to do, but I also must act consistently with my principles for me, not for other people or what people think of me. I can't live with myself having violated these principles. So an internal code of conduct that you follow from your own inner perspective with internal pressure that you follow consistently, and you make that code of conduct externally obvious and transparent and available to other people. You become positively predictable. This is level 1. Level 1 of trust and of connection in a relationship is to have consistent principles, because then people can at least trust you. So when I say, what do you want in a relationship? You want somebody who acts consistently with their principles so that they are predictable in a positive way so you can understand what they're going to do and that they're not going to act on fear or desires. They're going to act on these principles so that you will be treated fairly and you can trust that person. Yeah, did I get it right? Level 1, consistent with principles. Level 2 is very similar, but very different at the same time. Goals. A consistent goal, a unifying life goal that the person aims for that happens to be not at crossed purposes with your own goal. Now, the closer these relationships become, these goals, these life goals, can become more and more unified if you share them. In a partnership, you should share them. If you're going to get married, you need to make sure that your unified goal is the same. In fact, that's how you can preserve a long-term relationship, because when the feelings are bad, the goals are the same. So you can keep coming back to the table because you at least have the same mutual goal that you are really both honestly dedicated to. That makes all the difference in the world, instead of just, well, the feelings aren't great, so let's get a divorce. This is why. This is the unified goal is very important. My best buddies, my best friends, we have very similar goals, so we can assist each other along that pathway. What's my unified life goal? Well, it's twofold. Number 1 is to build a thriving family system. Kids, grandkids, great-grandkids, with every part of inheritance I can give them. Financial, of course, but also spiritual, emotional, attachment inheritance. A good, thriving family system that takes care of every individual so no one is smothered, but they also provide for the system itself so the family continues to grow, where they share businesses, they share needs, they care for each other, they live closer to each other if they choose, they stay in contact and gain full ongoing support from each other and raise their children together. So the family system keeps coming back together to heal and grow the family system for the sake of individuals, without, like I said, without smothering those individuals. That's what I want to create. On the other side, my human legacy of connecting with people like yourself and sharing good attachment and good relationships and echoing that throughout the world so that other families get the same benefit that I'm getting and my family will get, or even just individuals, so that people will heal and grow. That is my unified life vision, my unified life goal. So everything I do is toward one of those two goals. And if I have to sit and say, should I do this? It's, well, does it go toward these or away from them? Should I sit and smoke crack in my underwear for 5 years? Well, probably not, because it's not going to be good for one of these two goals. Can I have one beer with my meal? Well, yeah, it's not really going to disrupt either one of these things. Well, okay, but is it going to make me feel more relaxed? Well, yeah, it might. Actually, maybe it would be, so it'd be cool. Okay, I'll have one beer for lunch. Cool, thank you. Or for dinner, whatever it might be. I'm not drinking beer at every lunch, just FYI. And you shouldn't either if you're working, just by the way. Be safe and be responsible. But should I go to the gym? Well, maybe not every day. I don't have to, but you know what? Consistently, I need to be taking care of myself. Should I be losing weight? And I have been lately. Thank you for noticing. Yes, I should be, because then I'll be around to take care of my family system for an extra 10 to 15 years of good health. I'll be able to chase my grandkids out on the lawn instead of just crawling behind them or sitting in a wheelchair on the front porch saying, dang, I wish I had taken care of myself. These goals should move you toward them. And as you move toward your goals or reject your goals, you become, again, predictable. But you also become a trustworthy ally, because my buddies, they want their own family systems and they have their own human impact that they want to leave. And we can work together to build those. You saw an earlier video here on this channel of me and my friend Andrei Korokov. He runs Veritas Creative Media, who helps me on the back end run my social networks. You think I'm posting on 5 different platforms like 30 times a day and running the show and doing everything? No, I create, I check the comments, I check my emails, but they help me blast everywhere. Remember I said, that whole unified human legacy of creating this thriving of people that I'm helping, they are helping me do that. Andrei, his legacy, what he wanted to do was build with creators like myself to amplify those messages that go out and help the world. We are unified on that goal, so we are working together on them. Me and my wife, we are building that family system together, and that keeps us together. We're going to have our 14th wedding anniversary next month, and we're looking forward to it. But we've also had our marriage, and a second marriage, and our third marriage, renewal of vows. You renew your vows every 5 or so years, and we're going to do it probably again here in another year. We'll have our 15-year renewal of the vows, because when we committed to the vision. We committed to the vision. This is what you need, so that people can predict you, so that they can see if you're living at cross purposes. If a guy's goal was just to get as much money as he could and sleep with as many women as he could, even if it hurt other friends because he was sleeping with their sisters, and if he doesn't care about cheating on his wife, and he just wants to get as much money as he can, even if he has to steal it from his own mom, then his goals are not unified with my goals. My friend Andrei, if he was out for just money, I wouldn't be able to work with him, because that's not what I'm looking for. He is looking for this. He's looking for this. So am I. so we're able to work together. My wife, we want this, so we're able to work together. I couldn't marry her if she had said, I don't really want kids, I just want to have cats. Well, you're not an evil person for that, but you and I don't align on that, so I'm sorry we won't be able to be together. It just doesn't work. Many couples wait until like year 8 before they realize they're not unified on if they want kids or not. Don't do that, by the way. Please talk about that very quickly. But this is goals. So step 2, unified goals that at least work parallel to each other. So you at least can be friends over them. You can at least support each other, at least not be in each other's way, and at least not disrespect each other. But make sure those goals exist, because if a person isn't focused on goals, they're only focused on survival, which again, goes back to step 1, they probably are violating their principles because they don't even have a goal to aim for to keep their principles intact for. Level 3 now. Level 3 is mutual acceptance. The ability to accept each other. Now, this is not enabling. This is not, hey, yeah, sure, he's smoking crack in his underwear for 5 years. I don't know where that image is coming from, but there you go. Extreme example. Yeah, sure, he smokes crack in his underwear in front of his kids. And yeah, he beats his wife. Yeah, he's had 19 affairs just this week. Wow, that guy's really busy. I guess that's what smoking crack will get you. But yeah, this guy's doing all this stuff, but it's all right. Like, I accept him where he's at. Real acceptance also should come from real love. So you are looking for that person to be acting in good faith, understanding they are a work in progress, accepting where they're at, knowing that that's the best that they can do, and they are still working to get better. So you accept their shortcomings where they are now. That's acceptance. That is mutual acceptance. And to do this, you need to be honest with each other about what the pitfalls are and what your shortcomings are. You know, man, I'm realizing I'm hitting this weak point. Here's where I am right now. Here's what I'm trying to do to fix it. Can you still accept me? Can we still be friends even regardless of this happening? Like, here's what you need to know. If you have any pushback for me, let me know. I'm happy to hear it. Just this is where I'm at. Can you accept me? Can you forgive me for being this weak or where I am right now? Yes, I got you. Just make sure that you're on the right path to make this work. Please don't just stay here. I have conversations with my buddies like that all the time. I have shortcomings. They have shortcomings. We accept each other. And sometimes we have to help each other through those things. Sometimes it's a shortcoming you're not going to be able to overcome in the short term. It's going to be a while. That can happen. That can happen. But you need to be able to do that with each other, which requires you to be honest with each other. So, just like you wanted people in your life who have consistent principles you can trust, they have unified goals that they aim for. So you can respect them and understand that they're consistent, and you can understand that you're not working at cross purposes. And number 3, you want people in your life who can mutually accept you and that you can accept them. Now, people watching my channel, you know that I'm an attachment specialist. So odds are good you have struggled with attachment in your past. You have a unique understanding of acceptance that many people won't have. People who've never felt not accepted struggle to understand how deeply, deeply warm and giving it is to be able to accept another human being. It is crucial to human bonding to be able to accept people and give them that love and security when they need it most. So the fact that you have struggled without it makes you uniquely suited to be able to give it to other people. Just tuck that in your hat, feel pretty good about it for a while, but that is a unique truth about you. You can give and receive that love, but to do that, you must be making progress toward your principles and your goals so that you can say, yes, I, in good faith, have these shortcomings that I am actively working on, instead of, you guessed it, smoking crack in your underwear for 5 years. Yeah, try not to do that. Number 4. And I told you it was very specific to attachment. Number 4 is very specific to having fixed attachment or working towards secure attachment, because level 4 in a relationship is the ability to work together toward mutual fulfillment. Mutual fulfillment. This is not mutual acceptance. Mutual fulfillment is the opportunity focus. So you go to the other person and say, hey, I really like you. You're a pretty good friend. You're a pretty good girlfriend. You're a pretty good husband. You're a pretty good whatever. You're a pretty good blank. I want to make sure you get what you need in our relationship. What are 3 things? What are the top 3 things that make you feel the most, whatever's appropriate for that relationship, loved, respected, cherished, trusted, that makes you feel the best way in this relationship? What are the top 3 things I can do for you that can help you feel fulfilled? And by the way, here are the top 3 things for me that make me feel the most loved, fulfilled, respected, whatever it may be, hopefully in measurable frequencies of how much you need it, how often you need it. Here's kind of what I need, and here's why I need it, some context about it so that they fully understand what they're doing. Can we meet each other's needs? Can we do these things for each other? Let's take care of each other's needs in good faith and do this. You have to be able to share needs to do this. And I've got an earlier video called how to improve your communication in 9 minutes. Check that video if you struggle to share your needs. I've also got resources on adamlanesmith.com, which will show you how to fix your attachment if you are struggling with that. I recommend you read my book, Slaying Your Fear. That will show you real quick how to fix it. You want a deeper dive, I've got my attachment boot camp course, which will walk you through a lot of these processes, including how to find your principles, how to find your unifying legacy goal. All of that is inside that boot camp. But The key takeaway I want you to make here is that secure attachment is necessary to really reach that level, to be able to openly say, hey, what are your needs? Here's my needs. It doesn't have to be perfectly secure attachment, but it does have to be some level of secure attachment where you can pop open and ask that and give them what you need in return. Because that's the key. You can't just go up to them and say, hey, what do you need from me? What would make you really happy? And then just do it. That's not how this is going to work. That's not how this is going to work, because then you're just trying to weasel your way in to feel good and make them need. It's codependency. You're not trying to be codependent here. Mutual fulfillment is the game. And to be frank, the people that are in relationships with you aren't going to want you endlessly servicing them. And if they do, then that's a whole other red flag. Whole other red flag. If you were in a relationship, though, where someone was just endlessly servicing you and refusing to let you meet their needs or even tell you what their needs were, it'd make you pretty uncomfortable, probably. So the other person is not looking for a slave. The other person is looking for someone in a relationship. This is crucial. Keep this in mind. Level 4, working toward mutual fulfillment openly together. That is what you want in a relationship. So at the beginning of this video, I asked you, what do you really want in a relationship? And your answer now is, well, Adam, I want someone who's consistent with their principles. I want someone with a unifying life vision that I can really look at and say, yeah, I respect that. And it works alongside mine. I want somebody who can work on mutual acceptance with me and be honest about where they're at. And I can be honest about where I'm at. And I want someone who works on mutual fulfillment openly and transparently with me. And I'd say, wow, you're pretty darn smart. You figured all that out yourself? And you'll say yes. Or maybe I watched an attachment specialist on YouTube. All of this, though, is what people expect from you as well. So if you wonder what people want from you in relationships, this is it. This is a good relationship, whether it's romantic, business, or in a family, or as a friendship. This is a good, loving, secure relationship, and that's what it should look like. Work on that. Build that. If you struggle with that, check out adamlanesmith.com. All of my attachment resources are on there. I will personally coach you through fixing this. If you have a bad relationship, I can coach you. You can send me an email, support@adamlanesmith.com. Adam, you talked about these 4 pieces of the relationships. I am really stuck on number 3. I don't think anyone is ever going to accept me. Can you please help me with this? Drop me comments down below. Which of these 4 pieces do you struggle with in yourself so that you are afraid you're not giving out the best in your relationships? Adam, I really don't know what my principles are. Where can I find those out? I will share a resource to help you do that. Hey, Adam, I'm really not sure exactly how to make my needs for level 4 measurable. What the heck does measurable needs mean? I will explain that too. Yeah, that's from my years as a therapist. Measurable and frequent. The measurable goals that you need, the measurable needs, including how much of it and how often you need it. People need that. It's an instruction manual because they're not you. If you can build this, you can build the ultimate relationships. This is the process, and this is what you really want in your relationships. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. It gives me a big boost. Drop me a comment, even if it's just for the algorithm. That really helps. But I'd love to hear from you. Share with me where you are stuck, or share with me where you are feeling really powerful in these relationships, because I love the wins as well.